But we have to do now what is becoming our weekly thing, to be honest, Robbie, where I ask Sam about the available jobs in the Premier League and in the EFL and see if he's interested in them. This happens every single week now. So there's 2 jobs up just now, Sam, that I'm wondering what your take on them is. Obviously, Robbie's former club Leeds, managerless at the minute. Would you take that one? Would you fancy that one? Are you up for it?
I just thought by now, if they were interested in me, and I always say, are you interested in Sam Allardyce? And you know where I am, and so call me. And of course, if somebody called me, I wouldn't turn down going and chatting away with them. Certainly not at Leeds United, but there has been no call. So before anybody starts any speculation on this podcast, nobody's called me from Ellen Road to consider or talk about the job in hand. So, I watched them last night against Manchester United, and I my point of view, I wouldn't see a problem sorting them out from my point of view and my experience. But we are always looking at, I think, foreign coaches more than British coaches. We're lucky to have added one to the Premier League last week, which was Sean. One of only 3 now.
Really? 3?
Yeah. So it's very difficult for us as British coaches or British managers to get a Premier League position now. Very, very difficult. So you just have to keep going. If you're out there, you have to keep proving yourself, and hopefully one day you either make it to the top by getting the team promoted, which is most of the ways British coaches get there, or somebody sees what you're doing down there and comes and takes you, like I mean. But it shows you the competition that you have to face, because this is the best league in the world by the Premier League, best league in the world by a million miles, and that's why everybody wants to come and work here. For me, without sounding too big-headed or arrogant, I need to pick the right job for me. Mm-hmm. And I'm lucky to be in that position. Whereas Robbie at the moment takes a job when it comes, like Dunk, he got frustrated and thought, well, he was very close to Middlesbrough, I think very close to Blackburn, but all of a sudden, he's thinking, well, is the one, because you're soon forgotten. Yeah. In this game, you're quickly forgotten. But once you start getting on the bottom rung of the ladder, then it's up to you. Then it's up to your skill, your ability, your application to motivate all the people around you. It's your responsibility, and then if you can do that, you can always make players better when you take over. But if they're not quite good enough, it won't last forever. Yeah. And then you've got to do ruthless changes, both behind the scenes and on the pitch, if you think you need to.
Well, I'll be very happy for you to get a job that you want one day, but I'll be very sad as well, because it'll mean no more No Tippy Tappy Football, which is why every time there's a job that comes up, I think,
particularly since we started with the World Cup, I always think this is a great place to be when I come here. It's like, we'll come to the studio. It's relaxed, isn't it? Like, we're actually at this bar. It's not a studio, is it?
It's like therapy, you know?
It is.
We can sit and chat away forever, and I think that it's a great opportunity just to express what you think without anybody else editing it. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. It's how I feel. It's how Robbie feels now, and nobody can go and take an headline out of it and make it into something that it's not.
Yeah, great. And that's why we love it. That's why we love having you.
But I think if he does get a job, I still think he can do it, because there's going to be maybe an hour or two where you maybe can you can get back in, Sam.
Okay.
Well, probably I'll have to get past Mrs. Allardyce for that. There's lots of nice places in the world to visit. You're not leaving me on my own again, are you? You know what I mean? You've got to understand how they suffer.
Yeah.
And I think that it took me took me a while, but because there was so much focus on me being a manager, it was like, what are they going through? You know what I mean? What are they doing?
We often don't think about the families,
it's just too all-consuming when you're doing the job, But without that patience and that, that love and care from your family, and particularly your wife, then it's very difficult to succeed.